Alrighty, gamers, update for April 2025. This stuff does work. The first time I tried it, I didn't know what I was doing, and I ended up leaving this board out in the rain, and it kind of washed it off, so it didn't really strip the paint very good. But since then, I have used it on the cabinet doors, and now I am starting in on some of the trim work. So the key that I have found so far is to just kind of layer it on. It's pretty viscous stuff, so it does blotch up a little bit, and then you just leave it alone. So I'll leave these overnight in the dining room prep stage. Behind that, you can see my Peninsula painted up. Got to finish up the baseboard, and there's a little bit of the inside to do as well, but I'm not gonna finish that out till it's actually in place. So that is the same color as the kitchen cabinets, and that color is Cinnabar. So it's a reddish orange color, and that Peninsula will go right here. And there is a return register that I need to cut in to that end of the kickboard. So that's where the cabinets are at. Basically, that door and that drawer I need to paint and finish up. I'm missing one of the handles. So this piece of hardware right here, I'm short one of these. It was missing when I got here. So I've been keeping my eye out for something that will work. Scoured the options at Menards. There's not really anything that's an exact match. So I might just have to pick one of these drawers, maybe this one all by itself over here, and change that handle style. The bottom drawer, this was actually made out of metal before, and the metal part of the drawer was beat up. It's in the basement. I'll show you in a second. So today I rebuilt the drawer out of wood, and the 3/4 inch board that I used was actually the waste from the other side of the kitchen build out that I took down last year. So that's why the sides are still painted white, and then the rest of it is just custom size rip and cut to build this drawer out. So the sides are thicker than the rest of the drawers. Everything else has got the 3/8 planking. And these are the original cabinets, so I wanted to keep those if I was able to, and so far it's working out. So as promised, a little trip to the basement to see what this used to look like. Now the basement door is refinished except for the handle. The hinges are brass. They didn't polish up perfectly, but they're good enough for now. The door hardware, the handle hardware has been painted many times, so it's completely encased in paint. Unfortunately, I've got to figure out how to remove that. So that is how I get in the basement right now. And this is the drawer that used to be down there. Just really beat up, in bad shape. Didn't feel like trying to fix it. It was also the only metal drawer. I'm not sure what the purpose of having an all metal drawer was. Maybe just a different option to store things that, like if you had something that you didn't dry all the way, you could put it in here and it wouldn't ruin the wood, which is what the rest of the drawers are made of. So more work accomplished in the kitchen. This week the plan is to get the rest of the green paint. So this wall is a different color green than these walls. And these walls have already been painted 3 times because I can't make up my mind. The first color I tried was this tan, lovely April color, and it sure is a lovely April now. But the color I didn't like, especially with the red cabinets and that tan right next to it. It was just really arid feel in the kitchen. There wasn't any green. There wasn't any life. So I went all the way to the blue end of the spectrum and got kind of a darker blue than probably what I should have. It looks lighter on the can, but once it's on the wall, it's pretty dark. And that was also a little bit of a clash with the cabinets. They're both pretty loud colors. So a softer blue would have worked as well. But the more I looked at the blue, the more I decided I didn't need an off-color USA theme in the kitchen. So no blue. I decided to look at a couple of greens, and this is a light sage green. This is on the wall because I went to a Menards and a gallon of this green was on clearance for $9. So I figured, why not? Try it out, buy it, put it on. Painted the whole room, of course. Oh yeah, all three of these colors. I painted the whole room. Which surprisingly doesn't take that long. It takes more time to clean out the brush and the roller than it does to roll the whole kitchen. Because there's actually nothing on these two walls other than this little section by the stove and this little section above the door. And you can see above the door I have also tried a light yellow color, and I think I have the same issue with this light yellow that I did with the tan, where it just takes a lot of the cool tones back out. So that green is what I'm going to go with and do the whole room one more time. Everything else gets a white trim to balance it out. I'll be wrapping this chimney with this beadboard, so this front side is done already. I'll get wrap on this side and then build out the corners with white trim, white crown trim, and then the cabinets will get Cinnabar crown trim. White ceiling. For the floor, initially I had picked out a very light color. It's almost the same as the underlayment that's here. The more I think about it, the more I'm thinking I want to go with the darker, actually even darker than this one. This is the darkest one they had at Menards with the waterproof vinyl. So between the wall colors, the cabinet colors, and then the white, I think this darker floor is going to balance things out a little bit better. I was hesitant initially because I have the dark countertops, so I didn't know if 2 layers of those darker tones would work, but I think there is enough room to do that. But unfortunately, I ended up buying all of the floor, the white floor, because it was on sale and I thought I'd be wanting to put that in. So I'll probably return that and then buy the darker floor that I'm looking for. I'm not really set on that sample. I think it is a little lighter than I want to go eventually. I want to end up darker than this living room finish, just so that there's a little bit of a transition here from the kitchen into the living room. I think if I try something too close to the finish on this living room floor, it's going to be a little bit jarring. So just in order to enable that visual transition a little bit better, I think I do want to darken up the kitchen floor. That's not bad. It's close, but I want to go a little bit more. The pantry is here. It's kind of waiting for the next stage as well. And then up above the pantry is my internet cubby. So the idea is to have all of my my internet hub system set up here. I've got a dedicated couple outlets, and the Ethernet fiber line comes up in this wall and goes right to the router. So that's all up top in there. Trim that all out. Well, that is 10 minutes worth of the kitchen project that I thought would be done by now, but obviously these things do drag on a bit. As you might know. So we'll let this marinate overnight and see what I can get painted tomorrow.